Also speaking at this session, Chairman of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, the RMFC, Mohammed Shehu, disclosed that the Commission is currently engaging several revenue-generating agencies to resolve long-standing fiscal and remittance issue. He noted that renewed consultations are already yielding progress, with agencies increasingly approaching the Commission to address lingering concerns around revenue accountability and framework compliance. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezenwoye, has continued the inspection of major projects in Abuja ahead of the 3rd anniversary of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. The inspection focused on ongoing judiciary infrastructure aimed at improving welfare and strengthening the independence of the third arm of government. Our correspondent Usman Katun Umar reports.
The minister visited several ongoing judiciary projects across Abuja as part of routine monitoring ahead of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 3rd year in office. The projects include the Court of Appeal Division Complex, residential quarters for judges and justices, as well as official residencies for heads of courts. According to the minister, the initiative followed a directive by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu shortly after his inauguration to reduce accommodation challenges facing judiciary officers and improve their working environment.
One of the directives of the President to the FCT and FCDA is to see how we can reduce the accommodation burden as it affects the judiciary. Also talk about the welfare and the environment where the state to do their work is very key. So he gave a marching order that, first of all, there should be a Court of Appeal division housing their own structure differently from administrative headquarters. Luckily for us, we were just there this morning and saw that the work is almost 85–90% ready. Then again, we went to where we're constructing 40 residential houses, 20 for FCT High Court, 10 for the Court of Appeal, and 10 for the Federal High Court.
Barrister Wike explains that the housing project covers judges of the FCT High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Federal High Court, with plans underway for the National Industrial Court. He added that special official residencies known as Houses of Court are also being built for the President of the Court of Appeal and Chief Judges of key courts. The minister dismissed claims by critics that the projects are aimed at compromising judicial independence, insisting that the welfare of judges is critical to democracy.
There's nothing you will do that critics will not criticize. Before now, that care is not taken for the third arm of government. Before now, they say, look, judges have nowhere to stay to carry out their job efficiently and effectively. Now you are providing it. It becomes an attempt to buy them. How many people can you buy over? So those things shouldn't bother us. Mr. means well for the judicial arm of government, which is very, very key. You can't talk about democracy without talking about the judiciary. You can't talk about them doing their work when they cannot have befitting places to stay. So even if, for example, you give them the funds directly, you are the one still providing the funds. Every arm of government depends on the executive to provide the funds. So all this allegation of you are doing this to buy this, to let it be provided first, before we talk about who is buying who and who is not buying who.
Barrister Wike attributed earlier delays in completing the Court of Appeal complex to heavy rainfall last year, but expressed confidence that the project would be completed and ready for inauguration between June and July this year. He described the intervention as unprecedented, noting that it is the first time heads of courts are being provided official residencies, a move he says reinforces the dignity and independence of judiciary. Usman Katun Umar, Aso Television News.
When Aso Briefing returns, more business from the FCT. Just stay with us.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind to it, live the life that you remember.
Stay connected. Stay with us, starting from Yanga and Jolly.
Many thanks for staying there. Now to the rest of the stories. As preparation intensify ahead of the forthcoming Federal Capital Territory FCT Area Council elections, Senator Philip Tanimo Aduda has held a strategic consultative meeting with major stakeholders from Kwali Area Council. The engagement, led by the chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Danladi Chia, brought together key political leaders, traditional rulers, party stakeholders, and community representatives drawn from across the council. Discussions at the meeting centered on strengthening unity among stakeholders, reviewing prevailing grassroots concerns, and harmonizing strategies ahead of the local government polls. Senator Aduda stressed the importance of inclusive participation, peaceful campaigns, and collective responsibility in ensuring credible, free, and fair elections across the FCT. He called on stakeholders to place the overall interest of the people above personal considerations, noting that sustained cooperation remains critical to consolidating democracy and promoting development at the grassroots. Participants at the meeting reaffirmed their commitment to unity, cooperation, and continuous engagement aimed at deepening democratic governance and accelerating development in Kwali Area Council. The consultative meeting comes amid heightened political activities across the 6 area councils of the FCT as political actors intensify grassroots outreach ahead of the elections. The chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC in the Federal Capital Territory Abuja, Alhaji Abdul Malik Usman, has reaffirmed the party's commitment to encouraging and appreciating individuals who contribute to the growth and development of the party at the grassroots. Alhaji Abdul Malik stated this in Kwali during an empowerment program for APC women leaders and persons with disability organized in solidarity with the chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Danladi Chia. The event held at the late Alhaji Gambo Memorial Town Hall, Kwali. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar completes the story.
The empowerment program for APC women leaders and persons with disabilities, held in solidarity with the chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Danladi Chia, was organized under the town planner Abubakar Sadiq Initiative for DC 27. Speaking at the occasion, the FCT chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Alhaji Abdul Malik Usman, commended town planner Abubakar Sadiq for his sustained efforts towards strengthening the party. He urged the beneficiaries, particularly the women, to make productive use of the items given to them and avoid selling them.
They can go home as an empowerment that they will use it to train their children, they will use it to feed their family, they will also use it to campaign for the party.
In his remarks, the chairman of Kwali Area Council and FCT chapter chairman of the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, Algon, Mr. Danladi Chia, expressed appreciation to town planner Abubakar Sadiq for supporting his aspirations. He called on the electorate to always vote for leaders who remember and uplift their grassroots base after being elected.
When you do a good thing, you expect to have a good result in return. So on that note, we are happy and we are appreciating TPS for his intervention for my movement 2027.
Delivering a goodwill message, the FCT Renewed Hope Ambassador Coordinator Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu Kandido described the gesture by town planner Sadiq Ahmed as a demonstration of love and commitment in line with the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Town planner Abubakar Sadiq explained the motive behind the initiatives, while invited guests and beneficiaries also share the appreciation for the empowerment program.
Abubakar Sadiq deserves all the commendation. So Mr. President is happy, the Minister of FCT is happy, the party is happy, the Renewed Hope FCT is happy for what we have seen today. And I think it's a good development.
What we are doing at the moment is appreciating the President for making us look like human beings, like Nigerians for the first time, having a ministerial appointee, having young persons in parastatals and agencies as commissioners.
So what TPL Sadiq has done, or he has been doing, is at least he has proven to the people that I am a product of a political party, which is the APC, the largest in Africa.
Our party is much more concerned about taking to the grassroots, empowering the less privileged. And I'm assuring you that more of this will be done in the time coming.
I'm a widow. I can support my family with it. I'm really appreciative.
Godiya ga Allah da muna godiya da wannan bawan Allah da yana taimake mu a kowane lokaci.
A total of 52 sewing machines were distributed to 4 APC women leaders and their assistants from the 4 area councils that make up Abuja South, as well as 40 APC ward women leaders. 2 persons with disabilities from Gwagwalada and Kwali area council also benefited. In addition, dozens of wrappers were distributed to women during the colorful ceremony held at the late Alhaji Gambo Memorial Town Hall, Kwali. Abdullahi Mukhtar, Aso Television News.
Now, as part of its Ramadan outreach to ease the burden on the poor, the FCT Emergency Management Department formed and NEAR Foundation, a non-governmental organization, are to distribute 11 kilograms worth of food packages to 300 households made vulnerable due to disasters in the territory. The director, NEAR Foundation, Mr. Abdul Hakim Salahuddin, made the disclosure during a courtesy visit to FAMD. Abdul Hakim further stated that over 4,000 other vulnerable groups in the FCT would also be reached during the Ramadan outreach. According to Abdul Hakim, the outreach is intended to show empathy to the poor and ensure that they have meals during Ramadan. Responding, the Acting Director General of FAMD, the engineer Abdul Rahman Muhammad, assured on his commitment to continued collaboration with NEAR Foundation. The Rahman urged public-spirited Nigerians to emulate the NEAR Foundation by assisting the less privileged. Now, some members of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ-FCT Council, have called attention of international media and human rights bodies to what they described as escalating humanitarian, constitutional and security crisis in Amasiri community in Ebonyi State. The members, Princess Joy Omaga Idam and Chioma Okpara, who are also human rights activists and indigenous people of the community, addressed newsmen in Abuja lamenting an alleged full-scale military invasion of the area. The journalist explained that the crisis, which began as an uninvestigated allegation, already degenerated into collective punishment of civilians with a widespread military presence, political repression, economic paralysis, and violation of the fundamental human rights of residents of the Amasiri clan. Princess Joy specifically alleged systematic discrimination against the community, citing instances where a teacher from Amasiri was reportedly denied registration of pupils for the 2026 Common Entrance Examination in Abakaliki.
The army should leave Amasiri as soon as possible because we are not under war. They should leave Amasiri. If they must stay in anywhere, let them go to that boundary place between Amasiri and Enda. Let them go and station themselves there. 2, we are demanding that all our appointees and elected officials that the governor disbanded be reinstated because he disbanded them. I forgot to mention, after his declaration on Saturday, they picked up Amasiri has 3 traditional rulers. 2 of them were arrested. The coordinator of Amasiri Development Center was also arrested. They've been in detention. What is their crime? We don't know. So that's where we are. So we also demand that they reopen the schools and that the governor should stop this wish hunting of students in Ebonyi State University and Amasiri indigenes. Thank you very much.
The journalist, who maintained that the people of Amasiri are law-abiding citizens and not enemies of the state and deserving of equal protection under the law, stressed that the military must not be deployed as a tool for political vendetta or ethnic repression, notably that Nigeria remains a constitutional democracy governed by the rule of law. Among the mistreatments alleged by the journalists is the discriminatory admission practices students of Ebonyi State University of Amasiri origin are being subjected to, including compulsory presentation of national identification numbers before being allowed into lecture halls. Reports say the Ebonyi State Governor, Francis Nwifuru, already ordered the immediate closure of all schools and government facilities in the Amasiri community, Afikpo local government area, imposing a 20-hour daily curfew following the killing of 4 persons in neighboring Oroporojo village. The measures were announced as part of the resolution reached at an emergency meeting of the Ebonyi State Security Council, which was convened late Saturday night in Abakaliki. The federal government has taken decisive steps to address public complaints and enforce contractor accountability on major road projects across the country. These follow the high-level meeting in Abuja between the Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, and contractors handling key projects, during which concerns over project quality, public safety, and value for money were reviewed. Engineer Umahi disclosed that the ministry received a petition over excessive dust from the ongoing Makurdi 9th Mile Enugu Road project, which poses environmental and health risk to residents. He directed the immediate implementation of dust control measures, warning that failure to comply within 7 days would result in the suspension of the project. On the Mararaba Kefi Akwanga Lafia Makurdi dualization project, the minister ordered the milling and reconstruction of failed section, including the first 5 kilometers, with contractors given 7 days to commence corrective works. The minister also expressed concern over the slow pace of work on the 7th Axial Road project in Lagos, noting poor mobilization despite substantial funds already paid. He warned that failure to fully mobilize within the agreed timeline would lead to fund recovery and contractual section. Additional directives were also issued to improve highway safety, rehabilitate failed road sections, restore drainage and road furniture, and strengthen corridor monitoring nationwide. Reaffirming the government's commitment to accountability, Engineer Umahi said the Tinubu administration inherited over 2,064 ongoing projects valued at more than 13 trillion naira, adding that despite funding challenges, road construction and rehabilitation continued nationwide. He assured Nigerians that the government remains focused on protecting lives, preserving infrastructure, and delivering value for public funds. Responding on behalf of the contractors, the Acting Executive Director, Operations, CHOMEC, Mr. Stephen Lee, pledged the immediate deployment of standard dust control measures, full mobilization on the 7th Axial Road project, and the rehabilitation of failed sections along the Mararaba-Lafia corridor. Now, the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, NOA, Malam Lanre Isao Nilu, has described data privacy as a core national value essential to human dignity, trust, and responsible citizenship as key stakeholders gathered for the second Data Privacy Summit 2026 to discuss privacy in the era of emerging technologies. The summit was organized by the National Data Protection Commission, the NDPC. Isao Nilu said data protection goes beyond technical and regulatory concerns, aligning with NOA's mandate of shaping mindset and strengthening moral and civic values as captured in the National Values Charter. He explained that the Charter promotes dignity, integrity, accountability, and respect for fundamental rights, both offline and online, adding that integrating civic education with data protection will help nurture ethically aware and digitally responsible Nigeria. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, who also delivered a goodwill message at the event, stressed that emerging technologies are rapidly transforming governance and service delivery, making data protection fundamental to ethical governance, stability, accountability, and sustainable innovation. From the security perspective, the Director, Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center, Commissioner of Police Uche Ifeanyi Henry, who described data as the new product driving modern institutions and national security, warned that cybercrime and data breaches now pose serious threats globally and in Nigeria. He highlighted the efforts of the Nigeria Police Force in tackling cybercrime and called for stronger collaboration to address trust and security challenges. Meanwhile, the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, represented by its head of ICT, Engineer Larry Yusuf, conveyed goodwill message on behalf of the DG and CEO, Dr. Engineer Abisoye Koka Odusote. He assured Nigerians of the safety of their data, disclosed that over 128 million citizens have been captured under the National Identification Number System, and reaffirmed NIMC's commitment to a secure and inclusive digital identity management. As part of plans to expanding access to diagnostics, oncology and cardiology services nationwide, Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has commended the landmark agreement between the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, NSIA, the International Finance Corporation, IFC, and MedServ as Nigeria pushes for economic diversification and growth. A statement by the Director of Information and Public Relations to the Federal Ministry of Finance, Mr. Muhammad Manga, disclosed that the minister in Abuja to witness the signing of the agreement reaffirmed President Tinubu's commitment to strengthening healthcare through increased investment and effective public-private partnership, noting that the recent budget gains reflect a clear focus on building resilient social infrastructure. The minister explained that the NSIA's expansion of oncology network has proved that the world-class healthcare access can be built locally, creating jobs, attracting capital, and reducing Nigeria's multi-billion-dollar medical tourism spend. Mr. Edun further commended IFC's role, describing the agreement as a scalable model that combines financing and technical expertise to unlock private investment and widen access to care with additional support from the World Bank. According to the statement, the minister called for replication of the NISA MedServ model across other sectors, saying it is a template for inclusive growth, stronger public services, and long-term economic resilience. But that's much we can take on Aso Briefing today. Many thanks for your time and many thanks for watching. I am Joy Annie. Good afternoon.